obviously the spreads you get is just any incremental difference between your manufacturing and your operational costs. But then you're going to be capped at the local price abroad, whatever it is, and then if you could somehow get a good spread, then you take it. But domestically, is the price domestically kind of commoditized? Or is it on a case by case? Can you give some more around how you would price it?
I'm going to, I'd be lying to you if I told you I have any idea of the domestic pricing. It's all in sort of directly negotiated contracts between parties, and it's very hard to tell what the domestic pricing is. But I mean, there's no free market for it. There's no sort of trading platform for it. There's nothing to be able to tell what domestic pricing is like, and especially because especially with calcium carbonate, there are so many different products. Coated and uncoated, and for each type, whether coated or uncoated, you have different sizes. You have sort of you're dealing in the very fine grinds, which are the micronized calcium carbonate, the highest value, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you have the sort of the bigger. You start to get into bigger size grains, which are sort of less in value, that sort of thing. So it's difficult. It's difficult to give a figure on the Egyptian market really and to say what's happening with it, especially because right now Egypt's going through a period of deregulation, so pricing is so volatile. It'll settle down at some stage, but just with the changes in the fuel pricing and the sort of the recent floating of Egyptian currency and all these sort of macroeconomic factors that go into it, it's really difficult to give a figure on pricing, especially if it's Egyptian and it's an EGP.
Got it. Fine. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. The demand for this product, is the demand for GCC, I guess particularly from Egyptian companies, is it cyclical? Would it be impacted if there was like a shutdown in the construction sector, for example, or not really? It's always kind of going to be in demand, because it looks to me as if it's one of those like defensive sectors that like you're always going to have a need for it. But then again, I also can conjure up the fact that it probably relies a lot on construction. So how cyclical is this industry?
Well, I mean, it's calcium carbonate is one of those things that's always going to be in demand. There is competition. For the Egyptian market, because the quality of the purity of the raw calcium carbonate is very good. The Egyptian market is very lucky to compete. But there's competition around the Mediterranean rim, from Spain, from Belgium, and there's competition from sort of the Far East market as well. So there's a lot of the stuff around, and you have the Egyptian market is got an advantage, for sort of raw quality, but that sort of can get depleted very quickly if you fail on other sort of parts of the chain, like transport and handling or manufacturing, that sort of thing. And in Egypt, it's because we don't have, as a country, solid infrastructure, whether it's financial, whether it's transport and handling, whether it's whatever, that the country is going through a big transformation at the moment. There's big question marks on this thing. Okay, so if you're for example, if the Egyptian calcium carbonate exporters did very well after the sort of the devaluation of the pound, because all of a sudden they had a period where their production costs went down suddenly in comparison to the production costs of everybody else. So there was a spike in Egyptian exports. But then that very quickly depleted by the rise in costs that follows that sort of thing in the Egyptian market itself. So transport got more expensive, handling got more expensive, storage got more expensive, and then that sort of advantage was quickly depleted. you understand what I'm trying to say? It's the macro